Alrighty then. Let's kick it off. Also, let's get Colexiel in here. Hello, hello, Colexiel.
Hey.
Greetings and greetings everyone to the finals. This is the last day of DGG 06. We are finally here. And yeah, it's me versus kopiuyt.
Yep. Best of 5, so it's gonna be a good old game of attrition right here.
Yeah, you don't see best of fives too often. Even with the double elim tournaments, they come down to a lot of best of threes. So it's cool to get some extras here. And yeah, it's not going to be any like, oops, I had a hand screw, so the whole series is over. You'd have to have that happen multiple times in a row, and usually it balances out.
Yep. Oh, and in general, we've got the two players from the same seed in the finals too.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. If we take a look at the, whoops, I've got the wrong screen up. The groups, we actually met each other in Group B, and we went 1-1 against each other. So we had already played.
And
And
this is gonna be the good old revenge grudge match here.
yeah, some lessons were learned. I'm gonna first bring up my decks, just to talk over what I'm bringing. We've got the Riva Wanderer. It's a pretty strong version of Wanderer. All of your units get +1/+1, so why not attach that with production on ranged? So they get 2/2 ranged. Seems pretty nice. And bunch of suite of the
Yep.
usual stuff. Zendo hits a little lighter, but you usually don't want people bonking into Zendo anyway. I can usually find better targets like Thunderhorn. Now that would be something. And
Absolutely.
second deck is Shidai with the arcs, which is a little stronger, possibly a lot stronger. I don't know. It's certainly pretty mean. It goes pretty fast. It's got 1x Phoenix Fire is kind of like some extra reach/burn. It does have a critical
Yep.
weakness though, in that it doesn't have any way to deal with Mage Sworn, which was what I had lost to kopiuyt in the group stage with.
Yeah.
It's
No, it's a shame that that shuts down this entire deck.
yeah. kopiuyt's decks here. The Kalios Zan Wanderer one is the deck that I gave him that just contains it. It's pretty strong, but my ways around it are just to play the other deck against it, or to possibly get the win beforehand for him not to draw it, or for me to just to attack it with a gigantic unit if I can already have some buffs up, or if Kindling can get me something, which is my usual out.
Yeah, rather unfortunate. It's basically a race against Mage Sworn right there.
Yeah, and then the other deck being Xerix, which is the funny deck that you got him with. Got 2 Golem Vanquishers, 3 Aegis Golems, so there's a lot of opportunity for the lockdown, and then the big finisher here is Sirocco.
Yep. Either Sirocco or you just lose to attrition from Oasis, buffing up
Yeah,
any number of other golems.
and Superior Mirage is randomly amazing sometimes.
Oh
Some
yeah, you never
matchups.
want that to get dropped down on like a Kindling or God forbid a Four Winds, because that's gonna start swinging things in your favor real quick.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. So how about we jump into game number 1? We've got 3 to 5 games.
Yep. Ready when you are.
Alrighty, let's jump into game number 1 of the finals in 3, 2, 1, go!
Well, you've immediately got a strong opener.
Yeah. So I can pretty much I'm off to the races. The 2-drop Arcanates are like jet fuel. You get a ton of damage or just get a ton of things cast. You sometimes run into hand issues, but at least this Kotatsu here recycles itself.
Yep. It's a bit slow though, but it does what it needs to do. Copia's got options though.
Yeah,
Scroll Bandit's very strong. Aether Master's going to be good for him finding stuff, and he's also got Juxed.
yeah. Jux is definitely what you want with Scroll Bandits. So if you've got them, you generally don't replace them. Plenty of
Though you've also
nice stuff.
replaced into a Jux
Yep. Get ready for the
and the
Songhai
best
ditto.
Songhai.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like sometimes it's like the best card in general. It seems it just inspires people to look at it. It's like, oh, it is a board game. There's position, and it's 0 costs. One thing I like about juxtaposition that you might not know, it's the one Songhai spell that has purple in it. No other spells actually have any purple, but there's like a funny shadowing going on the bottom of the card.
Yeah.
Of course, the art guy, Acid Green, would be the one to spot that. So 2 steps forward, it's possible to take the mana, so 2-drop into 2-drop.
Ooh, Kaido Assassin.
Ooh, that could actually be a better opener, because it's a little,
A bit beefier, better attack. Well, I'm
yeah.
not beefier, but
Yeah, if it gets pulled out of position, it can still do a bit more. And it's not as high value, so if Kopiuyt comes across reactivation later, then Scroll Bandit becomes really good. Myself, I've got the Bite at the 4 mana turn, so I could get the Owl out. The only spell I can cast though is the Swap, which doesn't really do a lot for me.
well, I don't know. Jux will bring Chakri up by +1, and it'll get +2 from Owl, so it's getting 3 hit points
Hmm.
and 1 attack, so it goes to a 2/5,
Right.
which
That.
basically puts it out of being killed by Kalios and Aethermaster since Kaido's out of position, technically speaking.
I could also be looking at all my positioning tools. Like I've got the Mist Dragon seal, and I was thinking that I want to maybe take that route instead and save it. But Owl Beast is still
Alternatively,
good.
you could also drop Battle Panda and go Tatsu it, so that way Chakra gets +1/+1, the Aethermaster takes 1, Kaido takes 1, then you can move forward 2 and then punch the Aethermaster.
Yep. Gotatsu is a pretty good way to take down 3 toughness things.
Yep. Well, now you can Miss Dragon seal Chakri to kill the Kaido as well.
Yeah.
It is such a good thing Backstab is not
Not diagonal? Yeah.
popping off of diagonals. It's such a good thing.
Well, even the extra
And
2
make
damage from the backstab still wouldn't be lethal. And if your
wait,
attack...
Kaido only does 1.
Right, it'd just be the extra 1.
Yeah. No, because then he could just still step back and punch Chakri and kill it.
Well, here's T-Horn. Definitely a terrifying card. Really encourages you to just split everything as far as possible.
Yep. And in Kalios, it's impossible to dodge it,
Yeah,
basically.
it's coming. It's a really good minion for him. And it's randomly amazing in some matchups, like any Ice Age players are just gonna get smoked.
Okay, so what you could do is you could go down 2. You can drop Owlbeast Sage,
Yep.
Juxtaposition, Chakri, and T-Horn. Move Chakri over 2. And then you could have... Okay.
I can't get Chakri to hit anymore, so I'm just sending this thing as far away as I can. I'll be so far away from it that not even the blink can catch it up to me.
Yep.
And gain a pretty nice health advantage.
Though he does have that juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Oh, and obscuring
Obscuring blow.
obscuring blow. So he could move T-Horn up. No, that still wouldn't work. Well, no, actually, he
So,
could juxtaposition
How do you think
Owlbeast and T-Horn.
how do you think the backstab is going to interact with the Thunderhorn chain lightning? A chain lightning backstab, because it'll amplify the damage by 2. So everything takes 6, you would think, or 4, and then just the main target takes 6. It seems really good either way.
Well, Well, okay, based off the card text, it says whenever this minion damages an enemy, it also damages all joint enemies. I would
Yeah.
assume that would also proc off backstab, increasing that damage. That's what I
Yeah.
would assume.
There's not a lot of keywords you can hand off the Thunderhorn, so you don't get a lot of weird interactions like that. Like, it does some funny stuff with Ox. Like, it works there. And, I guess ranged and blast would be just as good. So here it is, juxtaposition, backstab. The chain
I don't
lightning.
understand. Oh, okay, never mind. I see why he did that now. Okay,
Yeah,
because then he catch Owl Beast.
but the chain lightning actually only did 4 damage and not 6 damage, which Kopiuyt was not expecting. I also wasn't expecting that. But at least has the Phoenix Fire to clear off the Chakri. Discoverable mechanics.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that I lost that bet right there, that coin toss.
Yeah, because
But
it was gonna be one or the other, and it might even be something different in OG because the two games have some differences in opinion.
yeah, though it's not looking too hot for Kopi right here. He's basically burned through his entire hand,
Yeah, one card left in hand, and it's a removal piece.
and then also Wander.
Yeah.
And you just drew Kindling.
Oh, bada bing. So I can have this. The Kindling plus the Owl is just the perfect duo. All you really need is
Yeah,
like a Illusionist Spammer or something.
God, I remember when Owl was so much crazier back then.
It had plus 2 health.
Yeah, actually,
Or no,
I
it was
forget. Did Owl Beast Sage do like +3 hit points or something? Didn't that also get
uh
nerfed if it's hit points?
the last stats I remember was the 4 mana 4/4, but that was the Helgen special to move it down to 3. It was
Hmm.
so light benders could kill it.
Yeah.
Kopiuyt's gonna need to start drawing some cards off the Scroll Bandit, even just to be able to replace them for more minions.
Yep. Well, that Keep It Holder is going to be nice. It's going to be a 4/3 that stops the thing from moving until his next turn.
Yeah, the thing hits really hard. So I've got the 3 Teachings of the Dragon. In case you didn't know, it's +1 attack and deal 2 damage to anything and heal 3 to anything. So there's kind of a 1-2-3 going on here.
It's honestly one of the few bits and pieces of potential healing you might ever see in Songhai as well.
Yeah, if you're not doing like the Mantra heal up, this is an option.
I
Or
forget that mantra heals.
Mantra's weird. You can like half cast it and then cast it again later.
I'd almost want to Keep It Holder the Trinity Wing, because that's probably going to be maybe closest to the best move you could make right there.
Yeah, because flying getting shut down is a pretty big gain, and then this could just get backstabbed and shot.
It's a shame that preventing movement's not going to stop Mist Dragon Seal, though.
Yeah, I can just send it in. Other option is Calligrapher, come in. Other option is Kindling plus 2 BBS spells, because that's cooling down next turn anyway.
Yep.
But I think flying or teleporting the Trinity Wing to take out the Key Beholder would be best. Or even Calligrapher to bonk into Key Beholder is not bad.
Yeah, but you'd end up burning cards,
Yeah,
though.
I have way too many cards in hand at that point.
But definitely get rid of that Scroll Bandit would be probably an important play as well.
Yep.
And you've also got Lesson of Wisdom, which will heal you by 3 as well.
Yeah, don't forget that the Trinity Wing, of course, is an Arcanist, so it's going to get these pumps.
Yep.
Which is just too much. Kopiuyt had the OBS, but swapped trying to find some gas, and I ended up taking game number 1 of our finals.
Yep. He just did not draw into the Mage Sworn that he probably needed that entire match.
Yep. Absolutely, 100%. Without the Mage Sworn, I can just like run over the whole board with tons of damage. And once he's got it down, I have the option of going for the face, or I'll have to just redirect it to that. Ready for game number 2.
Yes, sir, I am. Wait, no, hit the build button.
I do that
There
a
we go.
bunch too.
Now I got the right button.
All right, 3, 2, 1, based.
Man, I was about to build a deck instead of watch a replay.
There's all these cool sprites. They're so distracting.
There's too many sprites, man. Too many sprites.
I was
Speaking
actually thinking of
sprite-
doing variations of sprites so you could tell when they're silenced. Like, what if Pandora didn't have her polygons floating around her if she was silenced, etc.
God, that'd be so useful.
Well, because Morgan was saying one of the most annoying things about silencing is it kind of makes board states look mucked up. Like you have to mouse over stuff if you don't know, if you haven't been keeping track of what's been silenced.
Yeah.
But if you could he was suggesting like a pip, like something you just put right on, maybe like between the numbers or something.
Oh yeah, like an actual counter and something and stuff.
Yeah, the way it's currently done is the text just disappears from the creature. You'll notice if you mouse over it.
Yeah.
Ooh, Copiuyt has a good card in hand. He was replacing for that every turn last game. I couldn't see it at all.
Yep. Nope. There it is. But you've also developed a crazy strong board state right here.
Yeah, I had a pretty dreamy opener. I was able to get some value out of the Jux, take out his 1 minion.
And you're threatening all the remaining mana springs as well.
Yeah. So here's the gigantic stat beast of the format. We just got this 4/7. And Kalios is probably the best general for it.
Yep. No, because Kalios can completely ignore Gatekeeper's singular downside.
Yeah, I still want to use Foralu's ability on it. I just get a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah, no, because it's the only elf in the game that get +1/+1.
They would already be getting 5/8 for 3.
Honestly, at that point, you could hypothetically kind of make like a weird Kalios Arcanist deck then,
it would be like
with Gatekeeper in it.
Be the splash. Gatekeeper would kind of be filling the role of what Panda was doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Panda would also be in that though. That's starting to sound like Minion High Soup at that point.
Yeah, though you've run out of gas. You've run real fast out of gas.
I made my plays, and now I find myself 2 cards in hand versus 6.
You need to get that illusionist out of there fast, otherwise you're gonna lose it.
Yeah, I'm puzzled by this Gatekeeper. So I just go for a Mana Steal into that. That actually doesn't put it out of Gatekeeper range. If you consider
just...
But I was focused on keeping the Kindling protected.
Yeah. And Shadai's certainly got enough bulk left at this point in the game to where you don't gotta worry. Never mind. It doesn't matter because Songhai trivializes positioning.
Positioning? What's that? So Mistdragon Seal, amazing with Gatekeeper as it turns out.
And he still has the blink ready to get keep that Gatekeeper aggression up as well.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, he might not even want to even bother with keeping Gatekeeper aggression up because he's got Flame Wreath in hand, so he can immediately just pop some damage off.
And the one of 4 Winds Magi?
And one of 4 Winds, the one of Magi. Yep, there it is.
I think I've got more of those, but Flame Blood doing its maneuver.
It's a friggin' flaming Beyblade is what that is.
Yeah, it just spins around with some fire, and once he lets it rip, it's like it's a lot of damage.
Yep.
It was nerfed to have one attack a while ago, but it's not really that much of a deal. In
Yeah,
some
'cause,
cases,
like,
it's
you're
downside,
not.
it's upside.
Yeah, because like you're not ever really attacking the flame wreath unless like
Yeah, unless
you're
it's
getting ever
counter-attacking.
closer to lethal, or you really need to clean something up.
Okay, it is the moment of faith. It is Mage Sworn versus Arcanists without any Mage Sworn options. Uh, so I'm
Yep.
gonna
Preemptive well played.
have to smork it. Just
Uh,
faces the place somehow. I do have play still. My BBS is just offline. And my minions just don't do anything.
and he can basically just play Wanderer with no repercussions.
Yeah, at this point I was realizing, well, even before, way before this point, even Lightbenders would be really good, because those are Arcanists.
Yep. I'm not gonna lie, it's just not looking too hot for you in this round.
So, the out here is replacing Chakri and getting Kindling.
And of course, he can't use his Bloodbound spell either
Yeah,
because it costs one.
it's a two-way disable.
Man, if there was only some way to increase your own the cost of your own Bloodbound spell, just to kind of play around your own Mage Sworn.
Yeah, I don't think Archon is symmetric, which is like the anti-magic mana forger. And Kopiuyt dropped the oops earlier. Wonder what that was about. Probably didn't like his friend Flame Wreath just being left out to dry, because I was able to
Yep.
hit it with the owl. Yeah, this is looking pretty grim. Nice pony.
Man, that pony.
Comes out and smokes my board. But I needed that.
Needed a lot of those.
Yeah. Well, that matchup seems pretty dire, so I think it's on to Riva for me.
I think that's a fair thing to do.
Yeah, that deck doesn't have as much of a glaring matchup. It was kind of funny to see that though. We had a game with Mage Sworn, game without Mage Sworn, but I didn't want to play to him not finding it again, so I'm just gonna throw Shidai in the garbage for now. Riva's plenty good.
Entirely fair. Riva was best girl before Shadai showed up, anyways.
Yep, tier list Roy's established and everything. Ready to go into game number 3.
Yes, sir.
Let's hit it in 3, 2, 1. Pace replay.
Oh, okay, so he also changed up decks going into Golem Vet.
Yep, definitely had the Yomi online that knew that I was gonna swap decks here after such a disgusting destruction. So, gonna see how he does with this.
Okay,
it's nice to see both decks.
Not an awful opener for Kopiuyt. The blood tier at the very least is going to do something versus dropping.
Oh,
Never mind. He gets something infinitely better.
This hand went from like C- to like A.
Yeah, no,
Top
no,
marks.
100% did. Though that might not matter because Battle Pando and Assassination Protocol exist in the same faction.
Being the Wanderer player, of course, I can rub two very specific cards together to make some kind of crazy play. It's a trait Wanderer players just have to just find the magic threat or answer, or at least according to what I see in general.
No, you need a special kind of luck to play one. Granted, my theory is that because it's a deck of one-ofs, like, because it's a whole entire deck of one-ofs, you're never ever going to be, like, in the bad position of...
Bad hand texture?
Like it hurts to replace. You know, it hurts to replace.
Yeah. Like, if anything, your happy to replace to be like, yeah, this is a great card, but it'll be even better when I draw it later.
Yeah,
Although with
and
Wanderer,
I
you
think
want to make sure that you play out your two drops often, because if you keep replacing your twos and your early game stuff, you could end up just redrawing tiny stuff late game when you need some big plays.
oh yeah, Shiro's a good card.
Yeah, it's hard to find a home for Shiro. I think Lilith and Riva are best. Wanderer versions of them specifically.
Yeah, because that's just gonna stack attack. Same with like Mirelurk as well.
Yeah, this one works. Pumps them up turn over turn. So if it can get some Heartseekers hiding in a corner with a Shiro, then that's a way to win. Pretty happy to have Inquisitor Kron in hand because he's basically a 5/6 that spits out 3/3s.
Yep, all with random keywords. He's also got Provoke.
Yeah.
Though speaking of provokes, Kopiuyt does have the means to royally mess with things quite a bit.
Yeah. Blood of Air is a pretty good
Uh,
one touch, and let's see what else.
I
Keeping the
would
Vanquisher
say
alive.
definitely move Xerix one up or diagonally one up and
Yep.
getting rid of that.
Yep. And now here's the Aegis lockdown. I cannot attack this minion. Well, I could, but I'm just gonna take 3 damage for nothing.
Though you can effectively get Wanderer out while keeping a semi-decent hand size.
Yeah.
And really, the worst punish you're going to maybe see right here is going to be maybe 7 damage because of Wind Striker in hand. Um, Maybe 9 if he wants to throw away the Dream Shaper as well.
Yeah, it's got provoke though,
Though,
so it's useful to keep around.
yeah, pending the Vanquisher Golem survives any
Yeah, because
unforeseen.
do have the random Phoenix Fire.
Yep,
So a Wanderer sounds fine because Shiro pumps it up one.
yep. So it's a 5/5. It's a very nice 5/5, in fact.
Yeah, there's a possibility for a diagonal step with the Golem to take a hit at it and then slash with the General, but that's a lot of face damage.
Or
Maybe
alternatively,
Sandsmoke?
Blood diagonal step with Aegis Golem, slap it, Blood of Air, the Shira Puppy, and then go into Wanderer. Cleans up the board, preserves the Golem. Um, and so long as Xerix stays where he is, Vanquisher is not going to get messed up by Lightbender,
Hmm.
though.
This is a nice play too, keeping the Aegis Golem aggression on, and the Wanderer can't step to hit this Aegis Golem. So kind of
I'd
has
almost
a
drop
grapple
Bastion
going.
down.
Bastion in the back maybe.
Oh, 100%.
There it is. Keeps that Vanquisher alive, and with Vanquisher here, it'll be even
I
huger.
would not have moved that Vanquisher up by 1. I really would not have.
Yeah, that lets my general possibly hit it, and if I had like a Gotatsu, it'd just be gone. If I could do some other clearing.
Not even that, because you can Arcane Heart, put the Heart Seeker right above that Iron Dervish, and then drop a Lightbender right in
Yep.
the middle of that formation, dispelling Aegis
Oh
Golem
no.
and Vanquisher right there.
We'll see
Um,
if I see that play. Currently, I've got the buff going, so Kron is super tempting. I am getting chipped away by this golem though, so it just should be dealt with.
oh, and there's Sirocco. Sirocco's already at magic number 5 as well.
5 golem
Um,
summoned. Is that when you
so
basically love
there's
throwing it down?
so yeah, so basically what I found with Sirocco is the only times you ever throw it down when you don't have like a ton of golems procced for it is when you have at least like 2 other golems already on the field or something that have magically survived, and maybe they're buffed up by like Oasis. And then you drop Sirocco. Maybe one of those Skyrocks will be in magical spitting distance of not automatically dying or something to
Yeah.
stuff. But the reason why 5 is the magic number for Sirocco is because you have 5 chances to get one or two of the Skyrocks into position that's actually really good. Or they'll all just spawn around your general, around the enemy general. The enemy general now has to deal 5 really angry Skyrocks that got woken up a bit too early.
Seems pretty good. I mean, Sand costs 5 and it's an incredible card, so... Snorkel also costs 5, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe there's
I'd almost
some funny
drop
numerology here.
Blood Tier.
Blood Tier just to get something out of the sand? Because now
Yeah, get something out of the sand.
Yeah.
And then get rid of Captive as well.
Yep. Because otherwise,
that
Swirl just goes down.
That Lightbender, though. Oh god, that Lightbender. That's gonna hurt when it comes down.
Lightbender's getting even more potent as time goes on.
Okay, that feels a lot better now.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to dispel this Bastion.
Oh yeah, the days where Bastion does work, it always hurts.
Yeah, I might have to do something like swap in a Heartseeker just to be able to drop a Lightbender somewhere decent. But that's pretty sketchy.
If only you could somehow finagle getting like a Heartseeker at like to the left of the Sandswell Reader or something.
Yeah.
It's
like I'm just slightly too far away, and there's so many provokes in the way, I can barely move.
And that Aegis Golem has survived well past when it would probably normally eat it.
Yeah. Extra survivable now with all the Bastion buffs.
Oh yeah.
Well, just blast down the Provoke Giver. What does it for that? You got 2 copies of it though, so could potentially still get the team back online.
Oh yeah.
It's always especially to drop right after Sirocco, because it's like doing a Lady Lock maneuver.
Oh yeah, no, that's always dirty. That's always horribly dirty. I'm surprised he replaced the Sirocco though, right here.
Yeah, we're back just to the Sand Swirl, because the Sirocco was at the good number. Maybe Copiuyt was looking for 6, or looking for some other kinds of answers, because I've got a pretty nasty board going on.
Yeah, granted, I did tell him that like the point of the deck is to get as big and crazy of a proc off of Sirocco as possible. So that could be that could very well be what he's looking for.
Yep, he's cooking. Got the bigger game arc in mind.
Yeah.
And thanks to the Bastion buff, Sandswirl able to hit a 3/3 and keep living.
Now, of course, Bastion's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's an 08.
Yeah. Even if I do swap it in, I would have to immediately Lightbender it. Which, maybe that's fine. Like it swap the Celebrant or something?
No, I'd probably swap around. Swap like the Sand Dervish that's like right in front of you or something.
Right.
You can move the Heartseeker up to take out the Sandswell Reader and then drop Lightbender.
One consideration for swapping the Bastion on top of the Sand Swirl is it locks up that sand because the building is stuck on it.
Well, because if you're dropping Lightbender anyways, it's going to dispel
yeah, it's going to dispel it anyway.
That's what I was saying. Just move move that, put the Sand Dervish all the way in the back, because there's no third wish in this deck. So that Sand Dervish doesn't become like super scary later on and do a surprise lethal.
Well, I mean, I hit Bastion at least with the silence. That's fine.
Yeah.
Wow, I really
but that's a scary 05. Now, I think the ultimate means to assert dominance right here, in my opinion, is for Copiuyt to Sandswirl Bastion and put him back in the back line.
Just to keep going with
As the best automatic best play right here. It automatically wins him the tournament.
Yeah, I don't have the second Lightbender. Like, that's just against the rules for Wanderer. Even though there's these giant threats, that would be a pretty fun one. Wouldn't
But now
likely
there's a
want to
big.
do sand. Or we can probably just do a wind striker hit on the lightbender and this
Can't
thunderhorn.
reader.
Reader basically has to hit thunderhorn, right?
Yeah, he's gotta get rid of he's gotta get rid of T-Horn right here. He's got to reader
Yeah.
T-Horn. He could first wish the Aegis Golem and then take out
Oh
the
yeah.
Lightbender,
That's a decent
but
trade.
the
Hopefully this card
Heartseeker
draw
in
is
the
good for
back.
him.
Heartseeker in the back though.
Yeah. Uh, Not gonna be able to fade.
Oh
He's
yes!
doing the Bastion!
Yes!
I forgot about that.
Oh my god. Automatic best play.
Bastion in the back. Copiuyt winning the hearts of people around the world. And is playing around Surprise Thunderhorn by spacing things out.
Yep. Though rather unfortunately, he's not gonna keep that Iron Dervish that was spawned, because he's gonna end up losing that to the T-Horn's Chain Lightning.
Oh yeah, so doesn't even want to have an extra way for this lightning to travel. Opts to not cast the shroud.
Yep.
Didn't
And
have the mana for it anyway.
as nice as Soroka would be, he can't do it because he's got both Thunderhorn and Eternity Painter now to worry about. So this is a tough one, and there's Mirelurk. Or Merc Blood, I'm sorry.
They call him Murky sometimes. Real nice with this BBS. Because then you get 3/3 ranged. Busted.
Yeah. It's a shame that Xerix can't put his Blood Bounce, his Iron Dervishes on spots. It has to be randomized.
Yeah, but it would. Xerix would immediately be super busted if that could be anywhere. Who knows? At least it's not a 2-1 somewhere in specific. That was just the worst.
Yeah, I understand why that got nerfed. Like, Exhuming Sands are just really, really strong.
Yeah, they're kind of like a trial-ish. You can interact with them, but some decks just can't interact with them. And the Condom Ka versus Voth matchup was pretty nasty. So this at least makes them really susceptible to Krons and such, or to Scorns, I meant.
To Scorn, especially to
It made Cassiva really
Lilith's.
strong.
I'm sorry, not Lilith. Yeah, Cassiva. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking
because
about.
suddenly these sands can easily be turned into creeps, so it's a pretty nasty matchup. And instead of fading away and putting Mercblood way in the back, I'm coming right in because Bastion pretty much puts me on a clock, so I immediately silence it.
Yep.
Is he gonna Sans World again? That was pretty cool the first time.
Man, I could only wish he would Sans Roll Bastion again.
No, we have to Sans World T-Horn eventually.
Yep. Though, I don't know. That's just kind of the big downside of Sans Swirl is like it's a strong bounce. It's a very, very strong tempo card. It's got very good stats, especially for what it does, even at 5 mana. But the problem is when you're truly back against the wall and the board stage is not in your favor, Sans Swirl always it just never feels good to play.
Yeah, in that situation, you'd rather have the healer, and a lot less people are going to be running that. Because it gets answered pretty hard by a lot of things.
And honestly, just Amara has just kind of been creeped out from most Vetruvian decks as well.
That are just in decks that'll stop it. Like this Painter, for instance, could just panda it.
No, I mean, like, there's just kind of better options in Vetruvian now, because, like, also sitting at 6 mana is Swarm King.
Right.
Which is an even crazier answer or die.
Yeah.
But that is lethal right there.
Calculated exact damage. Riva getting game number 3, putting me up 2-1.
Alright, then we're gonna go to number 4.
Yeah, let's go to
I accidentally opened Chrome.
Oops.
Well, dang, Google's gonna steal all of our personal information now.
Please wait, now updating.
Chrome or Duelist? Honestly, it kind of sucks though, because like Amara Healer's got like a really nice sprite.
It's one of the originals. Usually, the old sprites are like really modest animated.
Yeah. And also, like, Amara also like really stood out amongst all the Vitruvian sprites too, because it wasn't like the regular like black and gold with white masks. It's all white with a gold trim. Not a whole
Yeah,
lot of that. Not necessarily showing off like a sand shield, but like just robes as well.
it was like nobility versus all these warrior classes. It was like higher tier.
Yeah. No, like she really stood out. And then you get like Notion, who's just like Amara, but went out thrifting hard.
Amara might have a World in Dying Wish decks though. There's a little bit of Dying Wish Vetruvian going on, but with Abyssian around, you might not notice it.
No, not at all. And Corpse Combustion, I think, is fun. I think it could be fun. It's it's especially interesting with its interaction with Ka, but it requires
Oh
Ka
yeah.
to have a really good turn, and then also to have
It's like get
that. But
more
if
ahead.
Ka's
Yeah, not so great. Ready to jump into game number 4.
yeah, just want to make sure I got that copied. Yes, I'm ready to go.
Awesome. We are going into it in 3, 2, 1. Going into it. It is
And Kopi's
currently match point for Copiuyt, or rather, if I take one more win, then I've got it.
you win.
Yeah. So Copiuyt's got to do 2 wins in a row here to clutch it out and get a second one of these awesome trophies. This is it would be consecutive trophies back to back from
Yep.
versus it'd be my first kind of trophy because I don't even have these gauntlet trophies. I got close a
Though it's
couple
gonna be
months, but usually someone comes at the last moment and snatches it. Okay.
uh, Wanderer versus Wanderer, and we have
Yep.
Bastion, the best card.
Yeah, Bastion right on time for me.
Uh, Kopiut's hand is actually kind of crazy. He's got
Yeah.
Tar.
Copia's
Rust.
Wanderer, this deck sometimes has hard opening turns because it does not have very many 2 costs that are that good. Ends up having a pretty nice suite of options here, and getting the mana ramp is probably the best.
Yep.
Because the later in the game that it is when you do this, the easier it'll be for me to intercept it with something. So just turn 1 doing it.
Though right here you've got to get rid of the bottom mana spring right there. Otherwise, he just immediately goes into turn 2 Wanderer.
I
He's gonna go into turn 2 Wanderer.
yeah, I don't really know why I chose getting Dio here. It certainly was
I
a
mean,
choice.
Dio's a very attractive lady who leaves behind quite the inheritance when she perishes.
Well, Copia's game
Being the
plan happens on turn 2.
yep.
Copia, by the way, has a Bastion Songhai deck that seems pretty sick that he might be able to share with you at some point.
Yo, okay, that okay. If there's one thing that'll get me into Songhai, it's Bastion.
Kind of curious how that works. Yeah, so now it's a bit of an uphill fight.
And he also gets the Mage Swarm.
I doubt I'll be able to keep this mana spring hanging around for a turn. So it's going to be another 2 turns for Wanderer for me, it feels like.
But at the very least, you'll be able to trade the Altus into Wanderer and get that nice 08 Tombstone.
Yep, that's like gaining 8 extra hit points on top.
Uh, I guess you could maybe do like Merc-Blood Devourer, maybe put Ma out near it, do some damage on the Celebrant, get like a 3/3 Ma. You could also put it on Tusk 4, get 3
Yeah.
damage on Celebrant, or onto Kalios.
Not posturing for a Bastion, though.
Yeah, now's probably not the best time to put Bastion down. Well,
It wouldn't be that bad, but it would also be pretty bad. It'd only be pumping up
yeah.
the blood tier if I, and the tombstone.
Yeah, I'd pump up the Blood Tier, the Tombstone. You could also drop Maw as well. Get a 2/3 Maw that does some damage.
Opting to use Deal here to clear that.
Honestly, I'd probably put Bastion right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then some chip damage with the boar. And Bastion putting it out of range of all these ping effects that Kopiuyt's got access to. Real nice.
Yep.
EMP is
Honestly,
a hell
that
of a
Bastion.
card.
It's unfortunate that so many people slept on Bastion when it was first introduced.
Yeah. It even got this really sweet buff that it was like it was accidentally buffing itself. It was just programmed to you all along, and then it's like, oh, it's a buff feature, and then people are still sleeping on it for the most part.
Yeah, because most people want to play with like some semblance of a tempo, I think. Whereas if you drop Bastion, you've dropped Bastion. At the very least, it'll buff itself, but like you're not necessarily developing a crazier board at that point, or something that's going to threaten the opponent into backing off or having to get rid of or something. That's Bastion's biggest weakness.
Yeah, I had to place it pretty far forward too. Well, I didn't have to, but definitely did. The Dream Bastion is player 2, turn 1, because you can get it up so quick.
Yep.
You just backline it and no problem. I've even tried the diagonal step into putting Bastion in the corner. That it basically gives your opponent all the mana, like what happened this game.
This is a very strong board state for Kopi right here. He's got the 3/5 Tar. He's got Kaido Assassin ready to assassinate something.
Yeah, I definitely would have been better off if I took care of this Wanderer right away.
Yeah.
But I can keep it pinned for another turn with this Tombstone. The problem, though, is everything else that's coming in.
Well, potential answers. You could Primus Fist the Blood Tier, and then Pig the other Pig, and then punch it with Blood Tier. That'll get rid of that.
Yep, pig on pig. That should be fine.
Yep. And then drop Heartseeker right above the Bastion when you fade away. Because then you're also going to be safe from backstab Kaido.
Yeah, and then the Bloodseeker still can't get pinged by the Scorn.
Yep, because Bastion. Wanderer is also tied up by the Tombstone as well.
Yeah.
So all in all, there is a way to maybe not die.
Going for the option of throwing 2 different minions into this, plus Maw. But it at least still keeps mana open for Heartseeker.
Yep.
Kopiuyt's probably going to want to get a backstab off with his Kaido. Gonna have to use a blink to do that.
Yep. Alternatively, he might. Oh no, he probably doesn't want to drop Mage Sworn yet because he's got EMP.
Oh yeah. Doesn't want to turn it off, but might want EMP my Bastion and Tombstone.
I don't know if he'd go for the backstab though. I think I would be surprised if he blinks it and uses it to get rid of the Heartseeker in the back.
Yeah. That might be a lot better, because I have got ways to pump this up. Not in my hand right now, but a possibility. Well, actually, yeah, I could pump it up with the Wanderer. So Wanderer hits a Tombstone. Tombstone doesn't break because I got pumped up again. Bastion is just like a recurring theme of being awesome. It's actually a pretty good card.
Yeah, no, Bastion is the definition of when it works, it works.
Yeah. Of course, it's absolute sleeper like later in the game if it's already like you're at each other's throats and it doesn't have any time to build up. Blistering Scorn, right at it. Keeping the blink. And able to finish it with the Alchemist. Because we got better use for blink.
Oh, there we are.
So just gonna chop down the Bastion manually.
So
I have a very good
that pony.
This thing absolutely closed out game 2 by itself. It showed up and the game was just over. And yeah, it wants to do a 3-for-1. On any deck you've got that is light on removal or light on spells, this is a really good creature to throw in. So Titan decks love it, all kinds of things.
Yeah, well, I use it, but unfortunately all of Vetruvian's removal is at 5 mana.
Oh yeah, competes with this.
Honestly, that's probably the biggest reason why you don't see like Boulder Breacher in Vetruvian Golem decks is because it's 5 mana and Vetruvian's already
yeah, I was wondering
got
why
so much.
it was like Lionar that was running only that, but it seems like a really good ad for golems.
Yep, nah, because it's competing with Sirocco, it's competing with Sand Swirl, it's competing with Blood of Air.
Yeah, those generally are making the cut on the deck anyway.
Like, if you ever want to run like Boulder Breacher in Vetruvian, you have to do it like the Cypheron variant and not have Sirocco in the deck at all. Because granted, because you have Razor Crag, and hypothetically you could go Razor Crag, it sticks a turn, and then you play Boulder Breacher the turn after that, and all of a sudden it's a 10-3 that can clear anything with no repercussions.
Right. But it kind of has no repercussions anyway when you set its health to 10, and that strat seems a little more solid.
Or just give it flying and more hit points.
That works too. Kopiuyt just dropped an EMP as basically a giant beef stick. Sure, it turns off ranged, but the real point of it is it demands immediate removal.
Yep, demands removal. I think... Well, actually, normally I would say I'm surprised you didn't immediately go to clear out the Wanderer right there with a punch from the pony and then the General.
Yeah, I could have taken the step there. I have like an aversion to attacking this Wanderer all game.
Maybe...
Time for a BPS.
Yeah. And so for Kopiuyt's been doing a very good job of preventing you from playing your Wanderer as well, just by keeping up all this pressure.
Yeah, I've been having to drop a ton of stuff just to keep the board kind of even.
Though, now I think Kopi could definitely make a excuse for playing Magesworn now that he's dropped his EMP.
Yeah, I get a lot more value over time with my BBS compared to his, so this would be a really good one to drop down.
Yep, and then it'll immediately get answered by your EMP.
Yeah.
Then he'll have to drop his pony to get rid of your EMP, and then you're both out of ponies.
But that's a really good target for it. So he won't be upset with that. And then just need some kind of threat after this.
Honestly, I think he might go for replacing that Night Watcher. It's not particularly applicable in this matchup right here.
Yeah, I already played the Tusk War.
I'm surprised he blew his Gotatsu on the Dispelled Heartseeker. Maybe doing that specifically for the recycle right there?
Yeah, getting the Gotatsu basically out of his deck so the Magesworn doesn't cause it to be a blank piece of cardboard.
A little dangerous right there, taking that 3 damage. and trying to really push aggression when he's so far behind in hit points.
Yeah, 11 hit points. It's not quite lethal range because I don't have any units, but that is so low.
Though that 4/9 Mage Sworn.
Yeah, that has almost as many hit points as the general. I cannot be convinced to attack this thing. Or to even acknowledge it. I'll just walk away.
Yeah.
Well,
Though that Panda's...
real nice. Yeah, the Panda's causing some problems. I can't fade away, and I can't even clear it. And they just get better in multiples because then they can start walling stuff.
You could play Mercblood and then Kron, and then Kron's gonna get that nice +1/+1 right there.
Yeah, and possibility to hit a second Mercblood proc. Well, actually, no, I don't have. I already did.
You don't have the replace.
Yeah, I'm usually really discouraged from dropping a Kron if I don't have the replace.
But there's the EMP though, so at the very least, you're not having to deal with no magic anymore.
Yep. Although it's doing Copiuyt some favors, because here's Mist Dragon Seal, just in case. Doesn't need it, but could use it. And Sunset Paragon, likely going to be the answer here. Other option is hitting it with Mage Sworn and a spell, which isn't bad.
Yeah. No, because Thunderbomb's still going to deal 1 damage to you. Oh, okay, Paragon. That's smart.
Yep.
That's very smart.
We use the Force Field here to keep the Paragon from damaging a friendly minion. Pretty useful. Usually you see the Paragon being dropped from a general, but doing this position to have 2 minions blocking our generals. And it has been so long without me dropping this Wanderer, it's feeling just... this game is so cursed.
He's now catching up to you in hit points as well. Though that Sworn Avenger's not a strong draw right here.
Yeah. Pretty good early game, must answer, but late game it's kind of normal. Might still be the play though, because it could be warped somewhere.
Mercblood Wanderer?
Mercblood Wanderer. So I can finally get the ball rolling with this Kron.
Yep.
If I didn't have lethal damage to deal with, because there's
never mind.
Thunderbomb,
Yeah.
Mist Dragon Seal, 2 big booms, and 1 more attack opening. Copiuyt taking it to game 5. 2-2, tied it up.
Yep.
Very nice.
Time for the tiebreaker.
This one's for all the bananas.
It's a lot of bananas.
Is it time for game number 5?
Yes, because there's no ad breaks.
There's no ad breaks. We're flying into it in 3, 2, 1. The finale is upon us. Which is the key word for I had hit the button.
Okay, that's what I assumed.
Excellent.
And it's Wanderers again.
Yep, we're kind of locked into this matchup because if I pick my other deck, I feel like I just insta lose to the 1 card.
Yep. Okay, Kopi's got a strong opener.
Yeah. Managed to nab player 3 again. I do the Maw opener. Would Tuskboard eating the mana be better?
I don't know.
I've actually learned to not do that in Duelist 2 specifically because the board does the damage to you on the way back, but it might still be half good here. I don't know.
Well, I think the only problem with doing that is board just dies when the next thing
So it's probably better just to have something on the board to try to get up to 4 mana, and I'm able to use the board to clear the ranged. See a Key Beholder.
Might see him drop Gatekeeper on top of the Spring up top.
Yep, and then...
Oh, wait. Maybe Celebrant into Sworn Avenger, and then he punches the Blood Tier.
Ooh, that would be maximum board. Or that would be
You
pretty good.
get yeah, he'd have strong board, and he'd be able to put the Sworn Avenger in the backline a good bit easier, have it developed as a threat. I think
Ooh, or rare play with the Celebrant not generating a mana spring, but consuming a mana spring. So
yeah,
more
honestly,
interested in destroying than creating mana. But yeah, it does the play you mentioned, more or less.
the Dancing Blades don't see that card very often.
Yeah, rare perfect answer.
Very nice stats. Opening Gambit, that's typically very useful.
I don't know if they ever changed this thing. It's like the perfect minion, and it's like super low rarity, so anyone can have it. It's real nice.
And as usual, excellent sprite work, especially from the initial sprites that came out in the game as well.
Oh yeah, because it's another one of the first generation ones, and it just got these cool like 5 floating weapons in formation.
Though this does put Kopi into a bit of a snag because he's having to stare down a 4/6.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let Copiate have a free Wanderer game again. Turn 2 Wanderer was a little unplay withable, let's say. But this game's shaping up pretty nicely. Gatekeeper's probably going to be the drop, if I were to guess. But we could see a Bakazori blank.
Yeah. Or he might drop Panda.
Yeah, Battle Panda is like the best minion in any deck that it's in. Gatekeeper does a lot of work in keeping the gate sealed from these dancing blades.
Yeah, and because unfortunately Riva does not have Blink, you can't dance the blades around the Gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You can't run away from Gatekeeper either because Blink exists.
I could force him to use Blank at least.
Yeah, and then he's gonna deal with the cooldown.
Yeah. Don't want to dispel it because that only makes it more powerful. So, I guess I'll just fade away.
And there's your one and only Onyx Bear Seal.
Yes. If only the Arc deck
pretty,
had it.
yeah. Pretty neutral-ish board state for Kopi right here. He can drop Wanderer safely, and then also benefit from Spelljammer.
Yep. Can't get any clearing, but this is still fine. Oh, it's
Gonna opt for Gotatsu instead.
doesn't want to deal with the ranged minion at all.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't run Gatekeeper into the Dancing Blades then Maw it.
Yeah. I guess Maw's gonna be just fine next turn too.
Oh, but he gets something better than Maw.
Oh yeah. It is about to be the Flame Wreath show. But there isn't any supporting spells, so it's only got the one jump. Oh, it's got the Saber Spine Steel for the extra jump, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the blank. Wait, no, Saber Spine's Sealed is
Oh no,
not
that's a +3. I was thinking Shadow or
Inner Focus or Assassination Protocol.
those will do it too. But
Yeah.
this is just the attack bump. That's not gonna do it. So it's time for Maw. Does the finish like you were mentioning?
Oh, gonna punch the Wanderer in the face.
Pretty good use of it. We're still in 2-draw mode, so it's good to be playing 2 things a turn. Gets out of Panda as well. And some excellent cards in hand from both of us.
Though you are leading in hit points once again.
And I feel like I could get a crazy board state with Kron into a replace.
Yeah, maybe drop Kron, get rid of the Healing Sage, and then Bloodbound spell. Or alternatively, if you really wanted to clean up the board as well, you can move Spelljammer up to Punch the Maw, Assassination Protocol, get rid of the Panda as
Ooh,
well.
yeah.
And then you play Kron, replace, and then Bloodbound Spell.
That seems
That
pretty
might that
excellent.
might be.
Yeah. Keeps a lot of this hide removal I've got still in hand.
Yep, and then you're not going to have to worry about overdrawing. You're also going to be denying Kopi an abundance of card draw. But he does have the Baki Zori, though, which will allow for him to fill his hand up rather efficiently.
Hopefully, I'm not hell bent on getting the value reviving Inquisitor Kron with the Healing Sage, and then those being my two uses of mana. Because the Assassination Protocol is so good. Well, here's Kron.
Okay, the ranged minion's pretty strong.
Yep. One of the better keywords for sure.
Though that spot he's decided to land is not ideal.
Yeah, it kind of does some work protecting Kron, but not really. Inner focus. Nope. And opting
Oh,
to
you
take the
lost the
face.
pony.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here comes Sunset Paragon for Copiuyt. Or,
Yep.
yeah, that's probably that, because that takes care of a lot of stuff.
Actually, oh boy, oh no, that's actually, he drops Paragon and then runs the Panda into the
Spelljammer?
Spelljammer, and then,
Yeah,
yeah,
that does a huge clear.
that gets rid of Kron.
Here it goes. Ugh.
Or he just go Tatsu's Kron as well. Wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at your thing.
Yeah, probably would have been a lot better for me to play Kron way in the back, super defensively, and the line you were talking about with Assassination Protocol is really good too, because that would have let my units be really spread apart. But we are in the pony zone. It is time to recover from Sunset Paragon.
Tar's really strong.
Yeah. Could have potentially got even more damage with Sunset Paragon causing the Panda to hit itself before that.
That is true.
There's a lot going on in these games. It's easy to spot them on the rewatch or just immediately afterwards.
Even
Like,
I missed that too. I missed
yeah,
that. I missed that play too.
yeah. We got the nice diagonal positioning for Copiuyt.
Yeah, it's a shame Star's Fury's not in Songhai.
Yeah, that would be the punish for it. Instead, it's playing around this Eternity Painter really nicely.
Yeah, at worst, he's gonna lose the pony and the tar. The tar's the scariest thing right here.
Yeah. Because that could just be
Uh,
huge. And it procs off Heartseeker.
I guess fade away with Heartseeker, hit tar, Assassination Protocol, hit tar again. That would
Yeah,
clean that up.
that leaves me a ton of
Uh,
mana to take care of the backline.
yeah, no, actually at that point, then you could also Eternity Painter the Bakizori as well.
Well, I go for the
You get
solo.
Eternity Painter on the field.
Yeah. Definitely doing the line of taking out this wild tar before it hits me for way too much.
Probably Fade 2, and then Bloodbound Spell. Um, Fade 2, Bloodbound Spell, Cryptographer, Bloodbound Spell.
Yep.
Just to get distance away from Kalios. Because he's leading in health and in hand, while he hasn't dropped Wanderer yet.
Yeah, I'm just kind of generally spacing stuff out, so can't hit 2 Heartseekers, 1 Dispel.
3 Heart Seekers. There are 2/2s on the field. This is not looking too hot for Kopi, though.
Yeah, these are gonna take them down. And even if
Unfortunately,
the Flame Wreath had a lot of movement, it could only still pick one off at a time, and there's no way to give it extra moves. So Wander's pretty good idea. This time it's kopiuyt that's unable to play it until the 9-man turn. And I could potentially give it the individual pandization. I could give it a rain of bullets.
yeah.
Healing Sage is funny with instant reactivation.
Oh, never mind. There's the Killing Edge.
Oh, Killing Edge is a way to win games.
Actually, 16. So 2, 4, 6, 8 plus
12.
that's
13.
9.
Inner Focus? Ooh, is that lethal?
Inner Focus.
Hold up.
That might be. I think we might have lethal here.
8,
I wish we
10,
could
11,
pause
12,
this.
13, 14, 15. No, it's 15, isn't it? I think I'm one off.
2, 4, 6, 12, 13.
Reactivate this, teleport it over here.
5, 11.
Shoot. It's at 3. I have a general attack left.
General attack might actually be the play right here, because then he just loses next turn.
Just
There's no way out for him.
Should I take a step directly above him, do you think? Like
I
one step to the
would
right?
not, because backstab is always a problem.
Yeah. I run away without attacking him at all.
That's not going to matter, I think, because you just have enough ammunition. You outgun him entirely. Songhai does not have any crazy get rid of everything on the board spells yet.
Well, he does have
Does
a
Mantra
crazy
do that?
a minion that does
EMP.
that.
Okay, he's got EMP and Flame Wreath. Well, yeah, actually, Flame Wreath would clean everything up. It would clean everything up.
Yeah, because I clustered my Heartseekers together. Whoops. Should have kept these guys further apart. But there's actually a spot that would hit all of them, right in the middle. Flame Wreath only does 2 damage, though.
He does 2 damage. So, maybe start Flame Wreath.
Right in front of the Pando and...
Inner Focus.
Left and left
Inner
again,
Focus
maybe.
and Blink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right there also works.
Yep. But right in the center of these Heartseekers, and then right in the center of these 2 high health Heartseekers, or the opposite way around, is, as we see...
Actually, no, because if he'd started it in front of the Pando, he'd have been able to do a lot more damage to you right there.
Yeah. Possibly missing out on some damage there. And manages to put distance, even more distance.
Methinks the best play is going to be to step back 1, drop Eternity Painter, Merc Blood, and then Bloodbound Spell.
Well, I can only cast 2 of the 3. So it's probably going to be
never mind.
Merc into Painter.
Yes.
That does leave a ton of 2-4 or 2-3s.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because unfortunately, they're going to be 1/2s.
It's still not lethal though, so we live in. Yeah, it's pretty close. Got Shiro Puppy Dragon left in hand.
If you top deck into that Phoenix Fire.
There's a Phoenix Fire in my deck. Which I've conveniently left kopiuyt at. It's like I faded away knowing that that's my out. Or the Thunder Bomb, which is like the knockoff version of it.
Yeah, it's what Shock is to Lightning Bolt in Magic.
Yeah, so I put myself in a draw or die situation for the win. This is it. This is a Celebrant.
Celebrant ruins so much.
Celebrant in the game. Well, Yeah, that was definitely it. Might as well go and sell the Kron hit. Congratulations to kopiuyt for 2 wins in a
Excellent
row.
game.
Takes down DGG number 6.
And for 2 consecutive tourney wins as well. Good stuff
Yeah.
all around.
Kopiuyt, the current GOAT, the Bonjour MVP. Top of the top. And, ooh, I wonder what that game would have looked like if I didn't fade away when he had 3 hit points. What an incredible thing.
Yeah. There's probably an alternate universe where that didn't happen.
Well,
Or that
it's
did happen.
good lessons. Do love to see it, and this is really funny. This is like a champion that we built. It's your deck plus my deck, and kopiuyt goes and crushes it.
I mean, more so if your deck. My deck was more of a meme deck.
It came in to be pretty good support. Yeah, well, that was a pretty fun tournament. We might as well kick off the next tournament in, due time at some point. But
Yeah, eventually.
I'm definitely feeling number 7. As for the real set on it, I don't know. I think we've kind of landed on some decent rules. Because we used to do stuff with like sideboards, and we had like a 3-deck system, and we had like some other weird stuff. The double elimination plus groups was like a gigantic ordeal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's not enough Vetruvian generals for 3 decks though.
Oh yeah. To be able to do the 3 memes. Yeah, to be able to do the same deck across 3 different generals in the same faction would be pretty incredible. But yeah,
There's
kopiuyt.
He fires your duck.
Yeah, we got kopiuyt in chat. Hello. But yeah, it is time to go. Thanks again, Colexiel, for jumping in the cast for the whole series or season. That was excellent. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was fun all around.
Yeah. But we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining and thanks for playing. Congratulations, kopiuyt! Woo!